I commanded thee. Be strong, and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another news podcast, MoCo Resistance. My name is Harold Maldonado. Today is August 3rd, year of our Lord 2024. We'd like to welcome new viewers and listeners to the channel. We give you a big MoCo Resistance welcome, and to those that follow us on a weekly basis, welcome back. We ask you to please share these episodes far and wide, and we need this information to get out to as many people as possible, because yes, we are under a Marxist occupation in the county and in the state and in the country and most of the world. So we need this information to go out everywhere. And also please subscribe to our channels and Telegram, YouTube, and Rumble, and follow us in Twitter and Facebook. All right, let's start with the episode. As we said, this is episode 31. It's county officials deflecting. So what does the title mean? Meaning that we've seen since a long time, but in recent years, that the county council and the executive really don't do much in terms of addressing the needs and issues that residents care about. They always deflect, for instance, regarding the economy, regarding crime. They don't address it. They never say anything, and they only deflect and a virtue signal at every instance. So the game plan for today is we're going to touch on 5 points. We're going to talk about corruption at MCPS. Then we're going to go into talking about the executive, and then the president of the county council, who is Andrew Friedson. And then we're going to go into how the county council continues to virtual signal, ignoring the real issues that residents care about. And finally, the bonus round is going to be the two-term initiative having some positive news. So amidst having all negative news in terms of the economy, inflation, crime, and basically any corruption in the county, we have some good news to share with you guys today. So let's get started. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is corruption at MCPS. I know most of you are busy with family and vacations and summer trips, etc. But recently we got some news that the school system, MCPS, has overpaid millions of dollars for electric buses. And out of those buses that are electric, only seven work. And of course, MCPS is silent on the increase, and this type of financial malfeasance is common in extreme left governments at any level. So just to give you an idea, we've said since day one that the reason why the government, the county government, increases our taxes and on a yearly basis is not because it's spending on important things, but because they are using us as their piggy bank to fund their criminal and corrupt activities. So this is just one example, and I've said this before since last year at least, that this kind of information is going to be normal. There's going to be more information is going to come out from the council, from government offices, that they have been doing some shady financial deals, and this is an example of them. So what do these governments do generally? They overprice items and take the money for themselves and for their associates, of course. And this is done across the school and county budgets. I mean, you've seen the budgets. You've seen the information coming out of every year that the county holds sessions to talk about the budget. Well, that's just a screen. Behind the scenes, they use the budget to steal money to for their for themselves, and also to pay out their to their associates. And this is done across the school and county budgets. There's no need for any schools in our county to have any deficiencies in terms of materials and equipment. But as you've known, in the last 6 months at least, a lot of schools had issues with equipment. They didn't have materials, etc. And this shouldn't happen because supposedly the school system is fully funded. $3.3 billion goes to the school system, but we still have issues. It's because the financial management of the county, the school system, MCPS, and the Board of Education is corrupt and is criminal. So, and this has been done at MCPS, at the council level, county council level, and at the executive level. And they have been doing this for years. And this is just coming out because people are asking questions. People that have been looking at these issues have put out information, and they've been. The county council and executive have done their best to keep this information silent, but it's all coming up because as a whole, the Democrat Party is being exposed at all levels, and this is an example of that. And again, what happens in the county is not doesn't happen in a bubble. It's a reflection of what's going on at the state and the federal level. And the question I have for you guys is: are you getting it yet? Are you getting that the council and the executive and all government officials at the top levels are corrupt? And this is because they are from a political party that has been in control of the county for many decades, at least 4. And they have entrenched themselves in power. They are drunk in power, and they will not let go. Okay, now we're going to go into the Twitter feed to see and read more about this corruption allegation on the electric buses. Yeah, so to give you a little background, this started in 2022 in terms of the investigation. Mr. Scott Taylor from 7 News, WJLA, put out a tweet saying, original 2022 I-Team investigation, MCPS is spending millions on electric buses, but only 7 are on the road. 7 News asks why. So this has been happening since 2022 in terms of the information. And this is the crux of the corruption. So this is a letter from the Office of the Inspector General of Montgomery County, where they, this is as of July 31st, and it's a tweet from Scott Taylor saying, new report chastising MCPS over wasting of millions of taxpayers' money on an electric bus contract I first reported on 2022. I highlight key points from the Montgomery County Inspector General. Yeah, so let's look at the letter from a memorandum from the Inspector General. It says this is date July 25th, 2024. This is directed to the new superintendent of schools, Dr. Taylor. And the subject line reads, investigation of MCPS management of the electric bus contract. So I'll go ahead and highlight the yellow parts. $160 million to acquire and operate 326 electric buses, school buses. The investigation sustained that all the buses received during the fiscal year 2022-2024 were delivered beyond the contractually required delivery date. Furthermore, the letter reads, quote, we note that the contractor was notified, MCPS has notified MCPS that they will not be able to deliver the full complement of buses expected for fiscal year 2025. We also found that mechanical failures with many electric buses rendered them inoperable for extended periods of time, and that MCPS did not exercise contract provisions to force the contractor into compliance or penalize them for non-compliance. Furthermore, the letter goes, quote, we estimate that in addition to other possible actions, MCPS should have assessed the contractor approximately $372,000 for failing to provide serviceable buses between fiscal year 2022 and 24. Furthermore, MCPS is spending over $14 million to acquire diesel buses to compensate for not receiving the anticipated electric school buses, end quote. So this is again an example of corruption and following an agenda that is false, is a hoax, the climate change agenda that the county council and executive use to support this kind of financial activities is completely wrong. It's completely a lie. So you as a taxpayer are being lied to. And because they're telling you that there's a big climate change problem that we have, and we need electric buses. They don't need electric buses. There's no climate change. And right here in front of you, you have a very tacit proof that if climate change was an issue, and if climate change was important to them, then the council, the MCPS, the executive would have gone out of their way to make sure that the MCPS received the full contract electric school buses. But they don't. But instead of getting those buses, they had to buy or rely on diesel-fueled school buses, which are more harmful to the environment than regular gasoline buses. So it tells you the hypocrisy of our county government, and this should wake you up big time. All right, let's continue. And again, another tweet from Mr. Scott Taylor. Thank you for providing this information to the county. Most of residents, including myself, were not aware of this. So he tweets on July 31st, I did ask MCPS if Superintendent Thomas Taylor was available today for an on-camera interview in connection to the OIG report on the district's electric buses. Didn't get any response on that question from the media relations team at the district. So again, we have a corrupt school system, and this guy, of course, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's new, but if he's not responding to immediate requests to answer questions that the residents should care about possible financial malfeasance or inappropriate management of contracts, he's not coming out and saying anything, or he's not having a presser, anything. So this should tell you something about Mr. Thomas, but Mr. Taylor, sorry, we'll continue on that. So here's the receipts from Taylor, and it's another tweet, and he says, I asked MCPS 6 questions about the OIG report on how the district handled purchasing more than 300 electric buses for $160 million. The school district emailed 7 News DC a statement and didn't answer a single question. So right there, you have a corrupt system. You have corrupt Democrat operatives in our government who are drunk on power, and this is one example. And I'm sure, 100% guarantee, that we'll have these kinds of reports and situations where the government, our county government, is mismanaging our tax money. So we have a government that is drunk on power again and mismanaging our money, and telling us that yes, we need electric buses, and because of climate change, because this is imperative to protect the environment and to make sure that our kids are transported in energy friendly vehicles. But they're lying. It's all a screen to cover their tracks, to cover their corruption. They're stealing money from you, from me, for every taxpayer in the county. And at the same time, you have the school materials in our school system full of woke garbage. This is a tweet from Moms for Liberty. It says, hey, MCPS, Thomas Taylor, Board of Education, you made lips of TikTok. And this is a tweet from Lips of TikTok saying, the health curriculum for middle schoolers at MCPS is full of woke garbage. So here we go. It says one assignment requires students to write a pledge to support the LGBTQ community. A video included in the curriculum is titled "My Friend is Transgender," and an assignment about body image uses them/they pronouns for their story's main character. This is sick. Why is MCPS introducing alternative identities to kids and making them pledge to support delusion? I agree 100% with this. So while the county council and MCPS and the executive are telling you that they care about climate change, they're pushing this garbage to our kids. Our kids should be concentrating on learning the basic core subjects in school and be a regular kid, have a normal life without this indoctrination. This is pedophilia. Democrats want your kids to be okay with exploring an inappropriate sexual conduct at an early age. I mean, we said this numerous times. Wake up. All right, so as you can see, things are not looking up in the county. Things are deteriorating at a fast pace at every angle, at every topic. If you want to discuss the economy, most jobs are in DC and Virginia. Quality jobs are not here in the county. Companies are leaving. Companies are shutting down their operations and closing business here in the county and opting to move to other places. So this is the county that is ruled by this guy, Marc Elrich. Let's talk about him for a little bit. He's heading the UN Agenda 2030 in MoCo under the mantle of Thrive 2050. He's doubling down on the climate change hoax. Yeah, as we stated, he's doubling down on pushing out the middle class. I don't know if you checked house prices lately, but they are high, and there's no demand. The demand is fake. The demand is artificial. We'll get into that in another episode. But this whole push to push out the middle class it's happening. We told you this was going to happen because they, as a Marxist, communist, socialist government, and they want to destroy the middle class. And one way to do it is to price the middle class out. So the middle class, let's see, 4 years ago or 5 years ago, had a certain standard of living, and now that standard of living has deteriorated to a level where they are, I want to say more than 50% of the middle class is living paycheck to paycheck by now. So these extreme left Democrats, they want two classes of people. They want the very rich, them, of course, at the top level, the elite, and they want poor people, working class people. That's all they want, because in having that scenario affords them to have complete control of everything under the sun in terms of life in Montgomery County. Right, so he's not working for the residents. He's working for the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel, for his handlers. And he's in bed with biotech and big pharma. I mean, there's no... a day doesn't pass without Elrich talking about the greatness of biotech companies in the county, and how he and the council are getting investments of biotech companies, and how big pharma, the vaccines are safe and people should get the vaccines because it is the science. It's following the science. Marc Elrich is a corrupt and criminal individual, and he needs to be stopped. And thankfully, the GOP and the leadership of Riordan Sullivan passed the 2T initiative, and we'll talk about that. So his days are counted for Mr. Elrich. And let's look at what else can we say about Marc Elrich? He's known as Lockdown Elrich. Remember the pandemic lockdowns, unnecessary closing of small and medium-sized businesses. He unilaterally decided who was essential, who wasn't, and destroyed small and medium-sized businesses, families. He destroyed livelihoods, increased mental illness in the country writ large, and he destroyed minority communities. So Democrats tout themselves as defenders and supporters of minorities, and that's a complete lie. They are racist and they hate minority communities, and you can believe what you want, but the proof is right there in front of you. Who in the Democrat Party talks about their platform without talking about racism, without talking about the division of races in this country? No, they can't, because they don't have a platform, and their evil, their true selves is coming out, and we see that every day.
Only the
not an indefinite lockdown.
Flatten the curve.
That already happened. That already happened.
The executive as he was announcing plans for reopening amid the COVID virus pandemic. Now, the live press conference, both chaotic and awkward, and that's understating it.
That's right. Many in the crowd taking issue with leaders, even the data they're using to track the pandemic response. Our coronavirus coverage begins with ABC 7 Montgomery County reporter Kevin Lewis. Kevin?
Hi there, Allison and John. That press conference taking place at 2:30 today here at the Main Street Pavilion in the Kentlands neighborhood of Gaithersburg. Those protesters shouting at Elrich, calling him a number of names, including Nazi, fascist, and dictator. Protesters hurled boos and insults. Took to the podium this afternoon.
Dictator!
When Elrich explained that Montgomery's more than 2-month shutdown helped flatten the curve, the crowd erupted.
Why did you live on nothing?
Take your paychecks away, they'll be opening up tomorrow.
Fascist, Nazi.
The crowd also booed County Health Officer Travis Gales, accusing him of providing misleading, one-sided data.
Nursing home cases make up 10% of the total cases in Montgomery County.
You are full of it.
According to law enforcement sources, Elrich's security detail asked Montgomery County Police to respond to the press conference in case things turned violent. They didn't, but Elrich did get testy with at least one reporter.
What changed between yesterday and today? This seems like a dramatic shift from your position just yesterday.
Well, it's really interesting because you apparently don't listen very well. You were in a press conference with me. I think you were in the press conference with me on Wednesday. And I said we would do another press conference this week to announce what happened.
Executive Marc Elrich did answer a few questions from the rowdy protesters before he was ultimately whisked away by his handlers. We're live in Gaithersburg. I'm Kevin Lewis, ABC 7 News.
All right, Kevin, thanks. And despite the protests, Elrich now announced that the county is going to enter phase 1 of reopening at 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday, June 1st. And here's what that means. Non-essential retail will be curbside only. Restaurants will have outdoor dining with restrictions. Hair salons and barbers will be able to provide services, though appointment only. And limited outdoor youth sports are allowed, and day camps can operate with no more than 9 campers per counselor.
I am a patriot. I love our country. I think the shutdown, we did what they said, and they keep moving the goalposts, and they're never, people are dying of a lot of other things besides coronavirus. I'm in the bad age, but I'm not afraid, and I refuse to live in fear.
Only the
Not an indefinite lockdown.
flatten the curve.
That already happened. That already happened. Recall! 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 Recall!
The hypocrisy of calling some people essential and some people non-essential. I mean, we have a history in this country of dividing people in terms of race and color and ethnicity, and How can you do that? Call one group essential and another group not essential. We're all a team. We're all on the same team. We're all in this together.
All right, so right now we're going to go into Twitter and look at what Elrich is doing in the community. So again, right here we have we're in Twitter, and we have a tweet from Elrich from June 13th of this year, and it reads: "Recently, we have rarely been able to celebrate Supreme Court decisions, but they just reversed a lower court ruling that would have made accessing abortion meds harder and reversed long-standing FDA approval. We can all celebrate this victory for women's health and science." So at this point, if Democrats, their only platform is abortion and open borders, that's it. That's their platform. I mean, it is evil. I mean, this guy. What about the problems in your county, Mark? All right, let's continue with the Twitter feed, and we have another tweet from him, and says, "Today we honor 62 lives lost from our community who faced homelessness. This somber reflection strengthens our resolve to ensure housing for all. May their memories inspire continued compassion and action." Okay, to the normal reader that is blind to the reality of things, this is a well thought out, sensitive tweet, but it's false. It's pretentious. It's a lie. If you really cared about homelessness, you would have put in place policies that would have increased employment, would have increased salaries for blue-collar workers, etc., etc. And there's a lot of homelessness still in the county, and you're over here telling you're worried about these people. You don't care about these people. You're a complete fraud, Mark. Your community even hates you. All right, let's continue. We have again another virtue signal tweet from Mark. It says, "A proud moment for Montgomery County. We've been honored with 34 National Association of Counties Achievement Awards in 2023. Our innovative programs like drone responders and food scraps recycling are making real difference, thanks to our dedicated teams." So a little background on these awards. So these awards are produced and created between organizations and governments that share the same views. So in this case, both the National Association of Counties is run by Democrats, so it's laughable how this is portrayed as an achievement. Let's continue. And here's one of his tweets about talking about raising the minimum wage. So it reads, "On July 1st, the Montgomery County minimum wage rate will increase to keep pace with local inflation required by county law. $17.15 an hour for large employers and $15.50 for mid-sized businesses. A fair wage means better quality of life for our workers." So this guy is a Marxist. So he hates free markets. He hates entrepreneurship, and on the surface, he can tell you whatever you want to believe. But this is economics 101. The minimum wage has been low for many years because it is the gateway for students and low-skilled people to find work, and that work is not supposed to be permanent. It's supposed to be temporary, and many small businesses rely on these types of workers to help them out and for them to operate. And if you raise the minimum wage in these companies, that's going to cut into their profit margins, and basically reach a point where the expenses on labor is going to push them out of business. And that's what's happening all over the place. I mean, you go to any fast food restaurant and you're going to see a lot of machines with the chains instead of people because they can't afford the rising minimum wage. And you have companies that are being forced to close business because they can't make a profit. So this is not good news. This is just again virtue signaling to the public. Yeah, we're for minorities. We're for low skilled people. We are for the working class. They're not. They're elitist, and everybody's finding out the hard way. All right, let's continue. Again, these pictures are normal. He doesn't care about the real issues. He doesn't make any statements. I bet everything I have that he's not going to make any statements on the electric car debacle. Here he says, this is a tweet from July 1st. It says, had a great time at the Asian Barbecue Festival this weekend at Rockville Town Center. It was wonderful to celebrate, blah, blah, blah. So these pictures, these activities are what they live for. So they like to pretend they care. They like to pretend they are liked by the community, but it's all false. It's all false. All right. All right, let's look at more information on the of Montgomery County on the leadership of the current executive. So we have some data points here. So this is information gathered on crime in the county. So I'll just read the image I have in front of me. It says, according to the provided research results, Montgomery County, Maryland has experienced a significant increase in violent crimes rates in 2024. And overall, violent crime and overall crime have both increased this year, with violent crime increasing by 13.4% compared to last year, according to the latest report given by the county's Public Safety Committee. Several types of crime saw a dramatic increase compared to last year. So, I mean, if you, I don't care where you live, Damascus, Bethesda, Silver Spring, Wheaton. Of course, there are danger areas, red areas that with high crime, but overall crime has increased significantly across the county, and this is a result of the policies of cutting the funding from police and supporting the sanctuary status of the county, and basically hamstringing the operations and activities of the police department, and which are protecting criminals. Sad. And then we have under the current executive, we have economic data. So this is on the left side. You have private employment growth between 2008 2023, and you have the region average 9.4% increase, with Loudoun County in Virginia increasing private employment by 41% almost, and followed by Prince William County, Arlington County, etc. over 35% in Prince William County, and even the District of Columbia has 16% growth of employment in that time. So where's Montgomery County? So Montgomery County has experienced actually a negative growth of negative 3.5% in private sector employment growth between 2008 and 2023. Wow. So we've said here at MoCo Resistance that the county and executive and the council are basically don't know what they're doing with the economy, and this shows exactly with facts, with data, that because of the policies they put in place to destroy the economy on purpose, this is a result. 3.5. I mean, they can't blame anybody else. I mean, they've been in control for decades, and they can't say, hey, we're fixing the problems of the Republicans who were in charge for the last 4 years. They can't say that. The Democrat Party has been in control of the county, and they are destroying the county. And this is an example. Boom. Negative growth of 3.5% of private sector employment growth between 2008 and 2023. Right, we have another data point on the right side on your screen. For those of you listening in their cars, we have a chart that says private employment growth between 2022 and 2023. And this is, again, the same information, but broken down in the last 2 years, between 22 and 23. And again, the same thing happens. Loudoun County growing at 5%, Prince William County at 4.5%, Arlington County, growing at 3.4%. We have DC growing at 2.2%. We have the region average at 2%, and we have Montgomery County underperforming at 1.2%. So this private sector growth is basically a reopening of the economy after the pandemic. So it's an actual growth of a new private sector employment. So, and we have more data. We have more data on how Marc Elrich is destroying the economy alongside his comrades at the county council, who are keen in destroying the middle class. So we have two charts. Again, here on the left one, we have 2023 total employment as a percentage of 2019. So this is a comparison of pre-pandemic 2019 to 2023, to how they have recovered. So we have Loudoun County, who has recovered beyond 100%. So it has as a percentage. So let's talk about percentages. So total employment 2023 as a percentage of employment in 2019. So Loudoun County is ahead with 108%. Prince William County, Virginia, of course, at 105%. We have the region average at 99.6%, and Montgomery County at 97%, which means that out of the 100% jobs that were employment that we had in 2019, and it only recovered 97% of that and lost 3%. So there's a lot of employment in the county. There's a lot of underemployment in the county as well. But this should tell you in real data what's going on with the county and the county policies. So there are many people, many organizations that think, hey, maybe we'll have a moderate Democrat running for the executive or the county council. All Democrats are the same. They've been taken over by this woke, progressive, extreme liberalism that is steadfast, hungry for power, and they will not do anything aside from destroying everything, because that's the agenda. That's their objective, to make the county, to make the state, to make the country a communist, Marxist, socialist country. That's what they want to do. If you don't understand that, I'm sorry to tell you, but that's what's happening. And I would recommend you look at previous episodes that we've put out in terms of providing you information on the background of this, and just look around you. Just look what the Biden administration has done since 2021. They are destroying the economy. They are destroying the middle class. They are destroying minorities in terms of employment, their economy, crime, etc. Everything is happening because they want to do this on purpose. So any Democrat that will go into office is basically a puppet of their handlers, who are extreme communist and Marxist, and by default they are the same. And we have another chart on the right side. It says MoCo private versus government employment 2001-2023. So you have the blue line is government employment. You have private employment on the red line right there, and it's by the thousands, of course, and you have private sector employment declining 2019, 2020 because of the pandemic right there. And then you have a little increase, but it has not recovered. So this line for the visual people shows that the county has not recovered all the jobs that it lost in 2019 and 2020. So, and government, of course, it continues to grow, and that's what they want. Democrats want big government, and they want people to be slaves to government programs, so they are beholden to voting for them in every election. It's very easy to see. Okay, now we'll turn our attention into talking about the current president of the county council, President Andrew Friedson. He's the current president of the council. He's using the virtual signaling tactic as everyone in the county council. He's uninterested in resolving issues like rising crime, a stagnant economy, more interested in gaslighting the public as his predecessors. And he's a puppet of the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel, like everybody in the council, in the county government. And so, yeah, this is what we have. This is what their reality is. Here's Friedson in Twitter saying, tweet from June 13th. Today we joined together for the county's homeless memorial service to honor the lives of our same line, same virtual signaling tactic. Pretend to care, show the public that you care, touch on a sensitive subject, and to garner support. That is a complete lie. And all these people, they might mean well, but they're naive in believing what they say. I mean, this guy has said the same thing. I mean, people have called him out on it. So I would recommend you, if you're not on Twitter, to go on Twitter. You'll see the information from people who are interested in knowing the truth in the county, and they're calling them out, calling their disingenuous tactics to lie to the public and to portray themselves as good politicians. These are not politicians. These are political activists. All right, let's continue. We have, again, I mean, I have yet to find a Democrat who talks about their political party without talking about racism. And this is, again, a tweet from Friedson from June 15th that reads, last night we kicked off Juneteenth by celebrating Montgomery County's African American living legends. It's a reminder that Freedom Day is about the progress we've made and that we've had to do with recognizing our history and the work at hand to live up to the ideals and values. So, again, this is taken out of context, and this is basically saying we care about minorities in this situation. We care about the African American community, but at the same time, they haven't done anything for the African American community. They haven't done anything. That's why you're seeing a lot of people from that community changing their vote to the GOP, to the Republicans, because history does repeat itself. These people, the Democrats, have they've created the KKK. They've created the Jim Crow laws, and people are realizing that now, and they're lying. This kind of virtual signal is repetitive, and you'll see this all the time without any tweet or any reply from Friedson on the current issues. All right, let's continue. So again, we have these are normal for them. I mean, Kamala Harris does it, Biden does it, and of course Westmore does it. I mean, that guy, you will not see anything genuine from him aside from just the photo ops team that he has, and he's smiling all the time, and he's like saying, yeah, we're working for you. You're not working for anybody except for your handlers. Right now, we have a tweet from Friedson. It says, then I headed, I guess He's going to App County in Poulsville in an event celebrating Pride, officially for the first time ever with Marilyn Balcom, blah, blah, blah. So, Pride is not, I mean, we respect the gay community and the LGBTQ community. But again, the only problem that we have with that is the indoctrination that our kids are going through in the school system, and inappropriate sexualized material that is presented to them in the school system. We're against that, 100%. All right, another tweet from Friedson. This is from June 16th. Says, my spirits are soaring after a powerful and uplifting Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival interfaith service alongside my dad, and the Father's Day we created a community and found fellowship as we gave meaning to the house of loving kindness. So again, this is just where the tweets about addressing the issues. Friedson, you're a puppet like the rest of your county council comrades. All right, so this is Andrew Friedson. He's a puppet. He is repeating what he's told to repeat, as everybody in the council and Marc Elrich himself. They have no power to opine or comment anything out of the ordinary because they're subject to what they do and what they say, because they are not independent. They are puppets of the Democrat, the corrupt and criminal political establishment in the county and in the country. All right. So next we're going to talk about the county council, how they're using virtue signaling. So some points here to mention. County council members opt into virtual signal all the time. They ignore the real issues. They don't answer to residents. They answer to the Tacoma Park Communist Cartel. The council is made up of political activists, racist, low IQ individuals who don't know a thing about what their jobs demands of them. So they are socialists, communists, and Marxists. I mean, what else do you need to know? I mean, you can maybe research the history of China, the history of Russia, and how those countries, or Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, how those countries in Bolivia and in Brazil now and in Argentina 4 years ago have been infiltrated, have been ruled by Marxists. And yeah, they follow the same rules, they do the same thing. And it's sickening. It is complete sickening the way they portray themselves to be the saviors of the poor and the minorities here in the case of the United States and of course here in the county. So yeah, and we'll see some examples of that here in Twitter. We have council member Alvernos says, "Thank you, Mr. Representative Raskin. It's an honor to receive recognition from someone I have so much immense respect for." So this is a tweet from Raskin that Alvernos gave, responding to Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. MD 08 for me, in this week's local hero Alvernos gave, born and raised in MoCo, to an immigrant family, was devoted to his family, blah blah. So this is hilarious, actually. So the same way as organizations provide or give awards to the county for nothing, just a visual, a prop, so they can show to the public that they received an award for the best counties, whatever award. This is the same thing right here. This is a treasonous Congress member who is probably going to go to Guantanamo Bay shortly, or escape to Israel, one of the two. And because he's probably 100% sure he has an Israeli passport, and he gives props to. I mean, they support each other, of course, and the public eats it up. So this is fake. This probably, and both are racist, of course, and this guy's probably more racist than anybody in Congress. It's just the facade that they put out to the public. It's incredible. All right, let's continue with another member of the county council who is a puppet. This is Natalie Fanny Gonzalez. She never talks about the issues in her district. She never talks about the conditions her community lives under, the bad conditions, the unemployment, the crime, the public basically having to live in poor conditions in her district. But it never mentions. And right here she says, love seeing our gorgeous athletic fields constantly in use. This time a senior softball league playing in Wheaton Regional Park. Again, they pretend they care. They pretend they care about the issues, but no, they're just out there to gain public points on deflecting from the real issues and talking about mundane issues. This is again another council member, Lori Ann Sale, says, I'm hosting a series of community conversations in July in collaboration with our 5 regional service centers. The focus will be on positive youth development, mental health, and economic growth to create a safe and vibrant communities. So the same buzzwords, safe and vibrant communities like Westmore and others, and this is just propaganda. This lady has zero knowledge about economics, has zero knowledge about what the county needs, and of course what her district needs, and she's following the footsteps of her orders. Marching orders is to lie to the public and make the public believe on a certain image that they want to portray, and of course they want to portray the image of council members who care and are active in the community, which is complete false. All right, let's continue. We have Sidney Katz. That guy, I've never seen him. Talks about July is National UV Safety Month. Protect your skin and eyes from harmful UV rays. So again, pretending to care about something, right? And this is again mundane. Summer, of course. But what about the real subjects, Cats? What about the issues that concern residents in the county? Crime, the economy, our property taxes going up every year. What about that? What about the electric car debacle? What about the Casa Gate incident? Cats, any comments on that? Commie. And here's another council member, Kate Stewart. This is a tweet from July 2nd. It reads, what a beautiful morning at Sligo Creek, helping Parks biological monitoring staff sample fish species to assess the creek's health. The team found many minnows, a painted turtle, and a lot of American eels just in this 70-foot stretch. There's so much to find. And again, mundane tweet about the natural, wonder of and richness of our county. But yeah, this is great. But what about the issues? What about inappropriate sexual content being introduced in our schools? Kate, when are you going to talk about the real issues? I'm guessing never, because you were a puppet. Just like your fellow comrade here, Will Joando, low IQ Joando. His tweets on July 8th, bring the whole family on an epic dinosaur adventure right here in Bethesda. Okay, that's great. What you do with your family in your private time, that's on you. But what about the issues? What about defending your support of removing SROs from schools? What about the law that the bill that you're supporting in that will district police for searching possible, criminals? When you talk about that, Will, a puppet with marching orders, he's not allowed to sway from. Hey, yeah, and this is Evan Glass. And he says, tweet from July 8th, I'm pleased the Economic Development Committee unanimously recommended approval of the Make Office Vacancy Instinct Move Act today. Okay, so we recently had an interview with the new police chief, and one of the things he said is that the police department has some problems, some issues with finding a space for their for their activities, for their departments, etc. And it would be a great idea if you talk to him, Evan. I mean, we have a lot of open space, office space in the county, so why not maybe arrange the police department to not have an issue with office space? Wow. This is a falsehood. This is a lie, propaganda, and this is to lie to the public, saying, yeah, we care about the economy, we care about, and we're doing something. No, you're not doing anything. And we're still yet to hear your answers, your replies to the information, to the questions about supporting a convicted pedophile, and also supporting sex education, inappropriate sexual content in our public school system. So you have a lot of questions to answer, Glass. Hope you answer them, but I'm sure you won't, because you're going to deflect like everybody in the council, and your Tacoma Park Communist Cartel handlers. All right, let's continue. And this is the racist of the bunch. We have Kristen Mink, the head political activist in the group. And it says, she tweets on July 7th, let's go, MoCo, and whatever. So far each day, anti-LGBT proselytizers amplifying hateful, harassing messages to show up. 52% gets donated to the MoCo Pride Center. What about your district? What about the issues that are of concern of your residents living in your district? Have you ever talked about that? Have you ever mentioned anything about that? No. You are a political activist. You are racist. You should resign, as everybody in the council. You are embarrassment. Complete fraud. All right, let's continue. We have the Don Litke, another puppet of the county council, who is following the marching orders of her handlers at Tacoma Park. And it's a tweet from July 27th. It says, thank you all who attended and tuned in to ask questions about MCP News expanding the drone at first responder to Gaithersburg, Germantown, and Montgomery Village. This is an important public safety tool we will now provide for some of the highest call volume areas in the county. Okay, so let me give you a little background. Okay, so first level analysis, right, of this. All right. So if I were a regular resident without any real inside baseball information on the county council and the real agenda and objectives, I would say, oh, this is great. They're using the drone program to expand to areas where there's a lot of crime. Okay, that's the first level analysis. Second level analysis is, okay, why are they doing this? Because the police department doesn't have the manpower to service a lot of areas that are high on crime, or they have high crime rates. Okay, and the third level analysis is, okay, so why did they defund the police? Why did council member Don Litke and her husband support the accountability bill that puts a lot of restrictions on the police department? And by that, and by those actions, they've reduced the police department and its effectiveness because of the low morale and the issues that Democrats like Litke have against the police. So what does that do? The need for technology to cover the gap that these policies have on the police department. So what does this do? It gives the government, in this case the county council, room to maneuver to fill the gap that they have created, that they have caused in the police department. And now they're saying, yeah, we need more technology, we need drones. And again, the new police chief said, we're going to use we're going to expand the use of artificial intelligence and the cameras that most people have seen all over the county to monitor and to do the police work. So hint, this is part of the smart city idea, that technology is going to especially artificial intelligence is going to control and monitor the movement of every citizen in the country, in this case of Montgomery County. So they are setting the pathway to achieve that goal. So everything, that's a third level analysis. So although this might seem positive news, it's completely it has to do with the UN agenda, the Thrive 2050 agenda, to make Montgomery County smart cities. We'll talk about smart cities and some details on that on a later episode. Okay, so that has been the county council. The president, Friedson, and Marc Elrich are doing their best to lie to the people and to deflect any concern, any topic, any issues that might be considered important to residents. And at the beginning we said, we have positive news in this episode, and we do. So without any further ado, we'll talk about the positive news about the 2T initiative. For those of you who've been living under a rock for the last 6 months to a year, this initiative has been a GOP initiative under the leadership of Riordan Sullivan, the GOP candidate for county executive in 2022 elections, has pushed this initiative, and residents will have a chance to vote on this November. So basically, this initiative limits Elrich to 2 terms, so which would remove him from the ballot in 2026. So this is great news. This is something that was a lot of work, a lot of hours standing outside and just dealing with the elements, etc. So kudos to Mr. Sullivan for carrying this out. But he and his team presented all the signatures in boxes. But of course, the county council, led by Evans, are fighting this. Evans actually, and the rest of the Marxists send a letter to the state legislature asking to amend the county charter over the number of signatures needed to approve a ballot initiative. So I told you this, right? So Democrats say they are for democracy. They're not. They're lying. An example of that in a big way is how Harris was put in the front line as the Democrat candidate for presidency without any respect for primary votes or anything. So this is an example of that as well here at the county level. We have Evans, Elrich, and everybody in the council talk about democracy. We're here to save democracy. We want to increase property taxes because of democracy. We want to save democracy. We hate Trump because he's a threat to democracy. Okay, so if there's an initiative and people want a certain initiative to be included in the ballot in an election season, why not allow it? You're going against democracy. You're going against what the majority people would like to do, would like to vote on. So you're a fraud, Evans. Again, you should resign immediately, ex facto. All right, so this will continue to. They will continue to fight this because they're corrupt and criminal, and Democrats are not for democracy. I mean, this is basically what it boils down to. So yeah, we go into the Twitter feed and we have a tweet from Mr. Sullivan. Riordan Sullivan says on July 5th, "Great news! The Board of Elections acknowledging that we have submitted over 90% of the signature required to put term limits on the ballot in November. Democrats, Republicans, and Independents alike support the ballot initiative," which is great. So kudos to the GOP for taking the lead on this and for this to be, I guess, an all-encompassing initiative in terms of the political spectrum. So kudos to everybody who signed the petition and to put their signatures, and all those who worked on this initiative. Kudos to you. I'm sure all the residents in the county appreciate your efforts. So this is again healthy for democracy, healthy for our county, and this will place a limit on the bad policies and the management that Marc Elrich has been pursuing for 8 years now. All right, let's continue. So we have more information on that. We have the boxes. Again, a tweet from Sully from June 15th. It reads, "The Committee for Better Government delivered 12,139 signatures in the first of 3 planned submissions to get term limits on the ballot. It was a team effort based on the BOE data. The majority of the petition signers were Democrats and Independents who understand the importance of term limits. Term limits are just good governance. If 2 terms is good enough for Reagan, Obama, and Hogan, isn't it good enough for our county?" Yeah, so here are the receipts, the boxes. And immediately after the submission of the 2T initiative signatures, we have council member Evans saying that again, what we said about it, Democrats saying they're in for democracy and they support democracy. So this is a tweet that I posted on July 23rd. Saying, "Urgent, today is July 23rd, 2024, and the council is trying to stop the 2-term initiative, which would limit Marc Elrich to 2 terms in office." By now, you should see it clearly. Democrats talking about saving democracy or protecting democracy is total BS. They're so drunk on power that they will do anything they go to any lengths just to remain in power, including asking the state legislature to amend the state's constitution. They should tell you without a shadow of a doubt that Democrats controlling the county are corrupt and criminal. They don't work for you. They use democracy as the lever to lie to the people, and in reality they are authoritarian, just like the process to remove Biden and push Kamala into the ballot for November. Democrats will do anything to remain in power. Lie, steal, cheat, coerce, blackmail, etc. They are desperate, however. Their reign is on its last days. So, this is a tweet from Evan Glass saying ballot initiatives are important to our local economy. Today, my colleagues and I sent a letter to the General Assembly requesting changes to the Maryland Constitution for improving how charter amendments are placed in the ballot. So, basically, this letter is saying that they, because of the size of the county, that more signatures need to be put as a rule in order for these initiatives to be passed or to be included in the ballot. So, and again, this is your county council right here. The Montgomery County Council, Rockville, Maryland, dated July 23rd, 2024. Speaker Andrew Jones, State House, blah, blah, blah. President Bill Ferguson, State House. Dear Speaker Jones and President Ferguson. And I'll let you go ahead and read it, but it's basically the same thing. I'll read you the important part of the letter. I quote, given the population growth within Montgomery County and across the state, we are requesting that the General Assembly amend the Maryland Constitution to replace the existing requirements with more proportional matrix, end quote. And the letter continues, quote, having a standard fixed percentage of registered voters helps counties across Maryland. For example, our smallest jurisdiction in Maryland, Kent County, has a population population of 19,200, according to the 2020 census. For our county, like King County, 10,000 signatures is too high of a threshold and could never be achieved, as that is more than half of the county's population, and not all the population are registered voters. For perspective, so he gives the letter gives some examples of California requires whatever, and so basically the letter is asking the state legislator to change the state law, so more letters, more signatures would be required to push this any ballot initiative. So this should tell you everything you need to know about the Democrats in charge. They are liars. They don't care about democracy. If they really cared about democracy, they would applaud this 2T initiative and they would support it. But they don't, because they don't support democracy. They hate democracy. They use it as a buzzword, as a political propaganda word to push their agenda, to lie to the people, and to make the people believe that they are genuine people who care about the people who they're supposed to represent. So this has been episode 31, County Officials Deflecting. I would like to thank you for your attention. I know this has been a long episode, and of course we tried to make it short, but there's a lot of information to cover. And so because of the summer schedules and activities, we try to put as much information we can on these episodes. So in the meantime, let us know what topics and issues you're interested in us covering. We'll do our best to do so. We again ask you to subscribe to our channels on Telegram, YouTube, and Rumble, and follow us in Twitter and Facebook. We like this information to reach all the households in Montgomery County and beyond, because we're at war. Things are not looking up. The stock market crashed yesterday, and more of this to come in the next few weeks. So prep up. Make sure that you have extra food, extra water, medicine, and cash, and your cars are filled up with gasoline, just in case. You never know what's going to happen. So we recommend that to all friends and family. So again, thank you for watching. This has been MoCo Resistance with another episode for you guys. So join us. Join the resistance.
Have not I commanded thee? Be strong, and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest.